back on March 25th of this year, and you have a 3-count probation violation that alleges that you failed to submit to your SoberLink PBT as ordered on August 30 of 25 at 11 p.m., on August 31 at 11 p.m., and on September 1 at 7 a.m. Those are 3 different technical violations. If you plead guilty, or if you were found guilty, you could receive 15 days in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign the advice of rights form?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty, you will be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that? Actually, I'm wrong. You had 4 prior technical violations, so you could have your probation revoked, and you could be incarcerated on these cases. You have 1 count, which is attempt R&O, that's punishable by a year. You have a 2nd count of disorderly, which is punishable by up to 90 days. Do you understand that? All right, you understand all your rights? If you plead guilty, you're giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that? All right. You have the right to a lawyer. Be happy to provide you with one at public expense. Would you like a lawyer? I'll enter a not guilty plea. You're going to go out and speak to the lawyer, and then you will come back in front of me momentarily. All right? Any questions? All right, good luck. Good morning, Ms. Mohammed. Or have a hearing.
Okay, he's going to plead guilty with an explanation.
All
At
right.
this time, did you technically violate the probation of the court?
Here, I'll go ahead and take the plea.
Go ahead, Judge.
We're going to get Ms. Tessino in here. Sir, if you plead guilty, your probation could be revoked and you could be incarcerated, as I told you, for 1 year on the attempt R&O. You've had 4 prior technical violations and 90 days on the disorderly. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign, read, and understand the advice of rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights. There will be no hearing or trial. Do you understand that? To the charge count 1 that you failed to submit to a SoberLink test, August 30, 11 p.m. How do you plead? You failed to submit to a SoberLink test, August 30th at 11 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 2 that you failed to submit to a SoberLink test, August 31 at 11 p.m. How do you plead? You failed to submit to a SoberLink test on August 31 at that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 3 that you failed to submit to a SoberLink test 9/1, September 1 at 7 a.m. How do you plead? You failed to submit to a SoberLink test on September 1. Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No,
All right, your plea is accepted to all 3 counts. Find the plea has been made voluntarily and understandingly. Your name? Mr. Grazi.
John Graziano on behalf of Nicholas Horn. Judge, again, he's guilty, but again, there's an explanation. I know it sounds like hogwash since you've heard so much for your many years on the bench, but this gentleman did in fact fall asleep. He bust his tail. He's not some bum who just smokes some pot and just he has a few kids. He works at the La Supreme restaurant. He pays approximately $200 a week on Ubers to get to and from work to make ends meet. And to make ends meet, he lives with his mom in Lincoln Park. And again, Judge, I would respectfully submit that this is a technical violation. It sounds like he's continuing to make mistakes, but again, Judge, this guy has got an unusual schedule. In fact, he had indicated to me that he'd like to have these SoberLink tests done an hour earlier for each interval because of his sleep schedule. At that time, Judge, he fell asleep with his son and he crashed. It's as simple as that. In fact,
What time does he work?
Judge, he works from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to midnight at the La Supreme restaurant in Detroit. It's a French restaurant.
So he fell asleep while he was working?
No, Judge, this was the time. Go ahead, explain it to the judge.
Saturday, Sunday, I work brunch.
You work what?
Brunch.
Okay.
So this was Saturday night and Sunday night into Monday morning. I put my kid to bed around 10:30. I fell asleep with him Saturday and Sunday night.
Judge, again,
Well, you work Saturdays though, right?
Saturday and Sunday, I work brunch. from 8 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Then why weren't you up? What about Monday?
Monday is my day off. And I woke up and my phone was dead. It's unexcusable. It's my fault, 100%.
It's just been an uphill battle with him with the Silver Link. I mean, I gave him numerous warnings. We talked about it. I think 2 violations ago, he was doing a lot better. Saw him for the hearing for the medical marijuana card. We talked about him again because he did ask for permission to travel. I told him I wasn't gonna give him permission to travel if he wasn't compliant, and then all these happened, and then I just checked it before I came in. And Sunday, the 7th, his 7 o'clock, we didn't submit to until 8:49. So I'm reluctant to even move them up because he's not submitting to the 7 o'clock, he's not gonna submit to his 6 o'clock.
Judge, in response to that, while he screwed up over here, he did finally submit to it. He is working, this is a project right now that's going on. He's not snubbing his nose to this quarter, to this casino. It's, this young man has a lot of issues to deal with. Like, 29 years old, he's got 3 children. That in and of itself is a major battle to deal with. And,
Are you married? Remind me.
No,
Do you live with the wife of the children?
No.
Do you share custody?
yes.
What days do you have the children?
I only have kids Thursday and Monday.
So she only has the kids Tuesday and Wednesday and Monday night?
yes or no?
Yes.
Judge, it's an uphill battle and
I think he's drinking is what I think.
I have not been drinking, Your Honor.
I know, but I can't verify that if you don't test.
Judge, he did test at 8:49 that morning. And what, did he violate it at that time? Was there any?
No, but so his one.
Tell me about August 29th and 30th. What times?
The 30th, 31st, Judge.
Right.
I'm sorry, 30th and 31st. Tell me what times he tested on the 30th and 31st.
Seven 25 AM, 10:46 AM, 3:01 PM. 7:30 PM, and then the 11 o'clock he didn't submit to for until 3:53 AM. And then for the 31st, he had 7:28 AM, 12:21 PM, 3:20 PM, 6:51 PM, and then his next one isn't until 1:59 AM.
And then what about on the first?
The first, his 7 o'clock, he didn't submit to until 8:44 AM.
Judge, he did submit. Granted, it was late, but he did submit, Judge. Just any other sanctions besides jail, because like I said, he's responsible for the support of his kids. This is a project right now. This is a project.
What do you mean a project?
Project in the sense that this young man has a major alcohol problem.
I know. If he would admit to that and say I was drinking, that's one thing, but he didn't. Now he wants to send me on this wild goose chase about how he fell asleep and his kid's in his arms and he does brunch and all these other things. And I don't think he's being honest with me.
Your Honor, if I may, I am being really truthful with you. I'm no longer drinking. I've been trying to do everything that I can to please the courts.
How often is he testing?
He is weak.
He does these sober links 5 times a day, Judge. He'd be a fool. He'd be hanging himself.
I was a little late that Sunday one, but I didn't test yesterday. So if I was drinking, I probably would have tested for that.
How much more is the scram tether? Remind me.
The sober link's 650 a day, and I wanna say the scram is 10,
And what's the initiation or the installation fee with the scram?
$100.
Judge, without anything else being said, would respectfully request that you allow me to scram if it's a more aggressive program to treat this young man. Like I said, he's an alcoholic, he has his issues, and, you know, he'll continue to have issues with the sober link. Hopefully scram would be better. I hope you consider the move in jail.
When's his probation scheduled to expire?
Hang on, I was double checking the
I believe
grade.
it's July of next year or March of next year.
This grade was $10 a day, $100 enrollment.
You pay $100 in costs, you serve 1 day on the court work program, you pay 35 for that, you're to convert to a scram tether by the end of the day. And I will keep you on probation. I'm not gonna revoke you, but you are so close right now.
Judge, if he
So
continues
incredibly
to,
close.
Judge, if he continues to disregard, even though he's not doing it intentionally, he's had these issues. What jail time is Mr. Horn looking at, sir?
Why would you ask such a
I'm
question?
asking you the question to impress upon this young man that,
Well, you can get a year. You can get 1 year. You understand that? I could have given you a year just now.
Judge, thank you, Mr.
Convert to a scram tether by the end of the day.
Any more time to get grandfather?
As long as you remain on the sober link until you do, how much time do you need to get the scram tether?
Well, I was
How much time do you need to get the scram tether?
a week.
No, why?
I don't get paid till Friday, at least. I don't have any money until Friday.
All right. They're open Saturday, right?
I believe they're open till noon on Saturday, but they're open till 7 PM on Friday.
You're gonna convert by September 12th. Defendant to remain on sober link until then. You understand that?
Yes, got it.
So I'll give you until Friday, the end of the day, to convert to a scram. You'd remain on the sober link until then. Costs and fees to be paid on this case by October the 10th. I'll give you all the way till October the 10th, okay?
Thank you.
Class travel.
Judge, go ahead.
To go where again? For what?
South Carolina.
For what?
Taking my kids to aquarium is also a softball tournament.
How are you getting there? Driving?
Yes.
When is that?
That's right, hold on, I'm not.
When is that?
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't pay for the scram tether until Friday, and yet you're going to North Carolina before then,
Judge,
on Thursday,
Well, everything-
for, hang on, for a vacation. Now, it's safe to say your priorities aren't in line.
Well, I've just been working real hard, you know, the kids deserve to go somewhere.
I know,
he did pay ahead of time, Judge.
You know, I did have everything paid off.
hang on a second. You got enough money to go to North Carolina for a trip with your kids and to play softball and take them to amusement parks or wherever else. And you don't have enough money to pay $100 for a scram?
Well, we would have to pay it before it goes.
I know.
And Judge, it was prepaid. Is that correct? Did you prepay these costs?
He's not gonna be here on Friday. If he's leaving the 11th, he's not going to be here to get the scram tether. Right?
Correct.
Well, I don't know what you're saying then. I'm not gonna let you go. And you gotta push me to have me deny something like that. You're not compliant. You are not compliant. And I'm not buying this at all. I got the money that my kids deserve. I deserve good. You know, I don't know what to tell you, but you're not compliant enough. I'm not going to allow him to leave. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank Mr. Stino. You've made arrangements.
Are they ready on Romero Chavez yet?
Breakout room.
Pardon?
They're all in a breakout room.
Okay, just let me know, Lisa.
Judge and Grimes will be seeking an adjournment.
Jacqueline Suzanne Grimes, what's going on with something's going on with my audio or video. 25E720568.
John
There's a
Graziani.
victim here also.
Okay, ma'am, your name? Where am I going here? What is going on with this? All right, so you want an adjournment?
Jeff,
It was arraigned by Judge Hessen on August 29. I don't know, it's weird.
I seen it freeze and then happen.
How much time do you need?
Judge, I need 3 weeks.
Where's the victim at? The victim on Zoom or in person, Lisa?
On Zoom.
All right,
Mr.
Joseph
Mr. Grimes, can you unmute?
start your video, please, and tell me your name, sir?
My name's Joseph Grimes, and I'm
Okay,
trying
You have
Get
to
the
start
video.
your video. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
All right, let's talk about that. This hearing in Judge Middleton's courtroom turned into a double feature: a probation violation that nearly ended in jail and a domestic violence plea that showed how deferments work was Nicholas Horn, back on probation with 3 fresh technical violations for failing to submit to his SoberLink breath tests. That might sound minor, but Middleton reminded him that with prior violations on his record, he could be looking at a year behind bars. Horn admitted missing tests on 3 separate dates, blaming his unusual work schedule at a Detroit restaurant and falling asleep while putting his kids to bed. His attorney argued hard that Horn wasn't a bum dodging responsibility. He had kids, a job, and was spending hundreds on Ubers to get to work. But the probation officer pushed back, saying Horn had been warned repeatedly and still wasn't complying. The judge's skepticism was obvious. Horn claimed he couldn't afford the $100 setup fee for a scram tether until Friday, yet also admitted he had prepaid for a family trip to North Carolina. Middleton zeroed in on that contradiction, bluntly telling him, "Your priorities aren't in line." Still, rather than revoke probation outright, the judge gave him one last chance. Switch from SoberLink to Scram by September 12th, keep testing in the meantime, and remember he was incredibly close to a year in jail. It was firm, with just a sliver of mercy. Then came Drew Grayson, who pled guilty under a deferred statute to a domestic violence charge involving his wife, Joni Washington. Grayson admitted that during an argument, he put his hand over her mouth to stop her from yelling and pushed her. Middleton pressed him to be specific. Was it a forceful or violent touching? And Grayson said yes. The plea means no trial, but also no immediate conviction. If Grayson follows probation terms, the case can be dismissed at the end of the period. The judge set sentencing for 2 weeks later, ordered a presentence report, and emphasized to Washington that she'd have a chance to submit a victim impact statement and speak in court. The atmosphere throughout was sober and pragmatic. Horn's case showed Middleton's blend of dry skepticism and conditional patience, willing to give a last chance but unwilling to buy excuses. Grayson's case showed the mechanics of a deferred plea, with the judge carefully walking through admissions and victim rights. Time to break this one down. Middleton gave one defendant a razor-thin margin to stay out of jail and another a chance to earn a dismissal. But in both cases, he underscored the same message: compliance isn't optional. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.